What's up, everybody? Mel here. Happy New Year, almost. Almost. We're almost there. We've almost made it across that finish line so we could kiss the dumpster fire that was 2020 goodbye. Well, maybe you don't want to kiss a dumpster fire. Um, yeah, this has been one hell of a year, huh? Hasn't it been? That's for sure. I mean, I'll be glad to look at 2020 as a memory just as much as I'm sure all of you will be. That being said, not everything was bad this year. Gave me a chance to reconnect with my creative side in a way that I hadn't before. Prior to this, while I had worked on some scale models and some miniatures here and there, I really hadn't been consistently engaged in the creative process, more than changing some thumbnails around for videos on Twitch and on my other YouTube channel, and some basic graphic design that I would do for my layouts for my other, social media pages. But aside from that, really, I hadn't had a chance to really delve really into, anything really creative in a long time. And it was really thanks to channels like Black Magic Craft and Real Terrain Hobbies, Luke Towan's channel, Midwinter Minis, Goober Town Hobbies, all of these channels that really got me interested in the hobby again, and gave me an outlet to put that nervous energy that I had from everything that was going on around me into. And that, I think, for me, was very therapeutic. It gave me a chance to channel all of these anxiety that I was feeling about the general world into creativity. And that helped me tremendously. Now, not everybody had the opportunity to do that, and I understand that for sure. And, it's okay to not have done anything either. That's very true. Whatever you had to do to get through this year, that's awesome. But for me, it gave me a chance to kind of reflect on a few things and to get back into things and to realize that it's cool to start over when you're because I had to start over painting. I mean, where I was at when I stopped really painting on a more regular basis was at what I would consider good for me at the time. But now where I am, I mean, I can definitely see the improvements I've made just from watching other people and looking at new techniques and trying new techniques, trying to work with new materials. Heck, I got so into it, I really expanded. Unfortunately, I think I've kind of expanded my pile of shame a little bit higher. But hey, I mean, I'll get to it. Famous last words. But one of the things that I really got into that's really kind of made me the most excited in this is picking up an Anycubic Photon resin printer, which has become a real outlet for both my creativity, because I use a couple of websites and some software to create my own STL files for miniatures that I'll explain a little bit more about in a few moments, and really to kind of work on learning a new skill set, which is, all the things that come along with 3D printing, how to, prep your machine, how to balance your machine, how to put supports in on your models, how to properly clean resin. Although I use the eco resin, so that's a little bit safer. Still, you want to be careful when you work with any sort of chemical. And I've been having a lot of fun doing that. It's been a very good outlet and stress reliever for me in a lot of ways. And one of the things I think that is really important is I learned with that it's okay to make mistakes. Because if you look at this is one of my earlier prints, you can see that the shield doesn't look quite right, and that's true because it was one of the areas where I was just learning supports that I realized I didn't put enough supports. I went back and I learned how to fix that. And as you can see there, problem resolved. In fact, the sword too wasn't as strong as it could have been, so I fixed that with actually just adding 2 supports. And it came out really nicely. And I've saved that, file as I've gotten it to where it wants to where I'm comfortable and I'm happy with how everything came out. So, and I really have to shout out to 3D Printing Pro, because it was largely due to his videos that I sat and I learned about 3D printing. So yeah, Now, a little bit more about those custom minis I told you about. They're behind me. I've been working on printing out a few minis of my own design for something that I have coming up, which I'm titling uh, The Grand Arena. And that's a work in progress title, so that may change. But it's designed to be a little bit of a bridge between, to bring in some elements of tabletop wargaming and some elements of traditional role playing together in a more it's definitely a more role play friendly environment, and it's something that I've had in my mind since I managed a hobby store many years ago. That gives me an opportunity to kind of come at something from my own style and hopefully bring something cool to the fray. So it's a work in progress, and I'll go into it more as I develop more things on it. But know that there's a game system I'm working on that I'm probably going to ask some of you for input, really, to toss some ideas at me. So more on that to come for sure. So definitely you want to be coming back here and checking out some things, and I'll let you know what's going on. And I think the other thing I want to that I learned, especially this year, was there's always room to expand. There's always room to grow creatively. And I think one of the sayings that I don't know if I said this or somebody else said this. I'm not really sure where this came from, or if it's just wisdom that was plucked from the air, like divine inspiration. But a fool is somebody that thinks they know everything about something. A wise person is somebody that realizes there's always room to improve and there's always something new to learn. And that's one of the things I think I took to heart this year, is that there's a lot of things to learn. There's always room to improve, and there's always room to become better at something. Now, when it comes to painting a mini, there is a point where you just don't want to keep putting paint on it. If your mini suddenly starts to look less like a mini and more like, a flat piece of plastic, then you've probably put a little bit too much paint on it. Just saying. That might be an issue. But all kidding aside, I did feel that was a good lesson this year, and I'm looking forward to 2021. The vaccines are coming out. People are getting immunized. I do think that the end is finally beginning to become in sight, but we still got to get through things. So make sure that if you go out, you wear a mask, use social distancing, be safe. And one of the things I want to say I'm very thankful for is to have discovered a few communities, to have the opportunity to hang out with some friends online in Discord, and have also the opportunity to make some new friends. And I really want to throw a real positive thought out there for everybody, and that is, at the end of this, when the vaccines have gone out and we can go out to cons again and we can go out to see our friends again, we're going to have a really big gathering at some point. And hopefully I'll get the chance to meet and hang out with some of y'all in person. That being said, I know I don't normally do this, and I should probably get in the habit of doing this a little bit more with these videos. But if you like what you see and you like what I'm trying to do here, hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's awesome. If you like the video, hit the like button. And make sure to ring that notification bell, which is probably on this side. So one day I'll get this down where my finger goes, but it should be like right here, right there. Hit that bell. Other than that, there's one other request I have, and that is social media. There's an Instagram link down below. Make sure to hit that up if you want to see what kind of stuff I'm getting up to, or some really random pictures of the hobbies, or perhaps the outdoors, or wherever I happen to be. You want to follow along what's going on, make sure to follow me there. And the other one is Twitter. Now, I'm changing my Twitter account for this. We're going to use the Melkindor Twitter because that's the Twitter where I usually interact with people anyway. Having two Twitters is great, but it was a bit of a pain in the butt, honestly, to manage both of them. So we're just going to go with the Melkindor one. So that's going to be down below as well. Thank you all for being awesome. I look forward to seeing you all in some new videos. And as always, I want to wish you guys, once again, a great day, but also a happy new year, a safe new year, and a healthy new year. That's all I got for now. Mel out.